Hello, welcome. My name is Tracy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today's project is a quick and simple card featuring the Dandelion Wishes stamp set. This stamp set is absolutely beautiful and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. I have a basic watercolour background here and I've used these stamps with the Stamparatus, which is a new tool that Stampin' Up have brought out. It's a stamp positioning tool. So I just really wanted to quickly show you how to use that one. Now these three colours that I've used in this card here are Blueberry Bushel, Early Espresso and Crumb Cake. This is my second card that I created. The first one I created was a little bit too light for the camera, I thought. This is Crumb Cake, Mint Macaron and Soft Sea Foam. It looks gorgeous in person, but I wasn't sure how well it turned up on the camera. So I've changed it a little. So you can see a little bit better. I have all the measurements and supplies listed on my blog, and there is a link to my blog in the description of this video. There's also a link to my online store where you can purchase all your Stampin' Up supplies. If you use the Hostess code, I will send you out a free gift. So like I said, it's minimal supplies. I have Crumb Cake card base, a piece of shimmery white cardstock. I'm using linen thread and I'm also using some basic rhinestones. So let's bring it all in and get started. So for the watercolouring background, we're using the aqua painter. Because I am watercolouring, I'm just going to bring in this mat. So what we're going to do first is I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that shimmery white cardstock. And I'm going to start with the Early Espresso. So just in the lid, I'm going to grab some and just colour down the bottom. So darker at the bottom, going into gradually a little bit lighter. I'm also just using a piece of paper to clean my aqua painter. The next colour I'm going to go into is Crumb Cake. And it is better if you can leave these to dry in between. I might just heat it with the heat tool just really quickly to speed that up a little. There we go. So I'm going to bring the crumb cake in. Pick some of that up. There we go. So just like that. I've sort of gone down underneath to blend those two in a little. Heating that up with the heat tool again, just to take off that moisture. And bringing in the Blueberry Bushel ink. There we go, just like that. So just bringing the Stamparatus in, it comes with two magnets on the back. This one I don't use because I don't want to use the two together. If they snap together, they will break. I have one here that I've covered in washi tape just to help me pick it up. It comes with two acrylic plates that you can put your stamps on, and you can use both sides of your acrylic plate. It also comes with a foam board that fits down here if you're using photopolymer stamps. I'm not using photopolymer today, so I'm just going to take that one out and pop my stamps in. So putting my piece of paper in, shimmery white paper, I'm just going to use my magnet and place it down just to keep it in the spot. So what I've done is I've put it up against the edge here, and before I put my plates on, what I've done is I'll take this off and I'll show you. So I've placed my stamp down where I wanted it and then just brought the plate down to pick it up, and then it'll stamp exactly where I had put it down. And I've done the same with the sentiment on this side. So I've popped the sentiment down exactly where I wanted it. Sentiment down exactly where I wanted it, and then picked it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to ink up the dandelion there with Early Espresso. Now the fantastic thing about this is if it doesn't stamp perfectly the first time, you ink it back up and place it back down again. So I can show you that here. Did quite well, but I'm going to, because it's shimmery white cardstock, I'm just going to do it again to get a nice dark image. So inking up again, pushing down lightly on those areas. Lovely. So I'm going to move my magnet over just a little. I'm going to ink up the sentiment, placing that over. The sentiment says, I made a wish and you came true, which I think is gorgeous. So you can ink up as many times as you want, which is really great because sometimes our stamps, you know, you might not hit the ink on the right part of the stamp and you miss a little bit of the image. Look how good that turns out. So you can restamp and restamp and restamp if you want a darker image. So I'm going to just move these tool out of the road. The other big tip is not to put your plates down on top of each other. So you can't, if they're in the cradle, I'll turn this one around. Put one down, but you can't place that other one down. You'll break your plates. So always make sure you take one off. So we're left with this image here, and all we're going to do is we're going to stick some linen thread around the card, and this one's got some kinks in it, so I'm just going to grab the kinks out with my bone folder. I want to tie a bow at the front, so I'm going to place that round 3 times, just like that. And because we have watercolour, it is going to warp slightly. So I'm going to put a knot in here. Okay. Just tying a bow. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off the end here. And can you see this one is a double bow? So there's 2 bows there. Okay, so there's a bow there, so I'm going to tie that in a knot so it doesn't come unravelled. There we go. And I'm going to tie another bow on top there. There we go. So it gives it 2 bows on one piece of thread. Get rid of some of the ends there. Whoop. I'm also going to stick just a glue dot behind there just to hold that down. Just going to roll that slightly. Sticking it under the bow there, just like that. Bringing in the crumb cake card base, and I'm just going to burnish that score line there, and sticking that straight down. That I would use, because it's watercoloured, I'll use it now. I'll use tear and tape because you really want something that's going to stick that down really well. Has everyone seen the new colours that Stampin' Up have brought out or brought back? Has anyone got any favourites? Whether it be a returning colour or a new colour. I really like blues, and this blueberry bushel is a really nice colour. Not much of a green person, but I really love the greeny apple green as well, which surprises me. Okay, so bringing in some rhinestones, I'm just going to stick a rhinestone in each of those middles. So I've got a smaller one in that little one. I'm going to stick a bigger one in the other two. So there we have it. What do you think? I think it's a really simple and sweet card. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave me a comment, and I'd love it if you subscribed if you haven't already. Hope to see you again very soon. Thank you. Bye.